Hi, welcome back. Today we're going to make some bread. I already have a bread recipe on my website, and that bread has to rest anywhere from 12, which is the least amount of time, to 24 hours, and it's a very good bread. This is a quick homemade bread that only has to rest 2 hours. So let's get started. Alright, I got a cup and a half of warm water in here, and I actually put a thermometer in there to make sure it wasn't too warm. So if it's between 100 and 110, it's fine. I'm adding 2 teaspoons of yeast, and let me get this situated here. 1 teaspoon of sugar, and I'm going to let that sit for 10 minutes while it does its thing, and then I'll bring you back. Alright, this has been sitting 10 minutes. You're not going to believe how easy this is. And I got this off another website, and I usually write it down, the name of the website, so that I can give them credit for it, and I didn't write it down, so I can't tell you where I got it. But alright, this has been sitting for 10 minutes. The water was the right temperature, and don't use tap water because it's got chlorine in it. It'll ruin the taste of your bread. It won't be nearly as good. So now I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of salt, and a teaspoon of olive oil. Now, that's all the recipe called for, but you know I'm going to add something else because I want to. I'm going to add some rosemary, and it's because I love rosemary and I would like rosemary bread. So this is probably about a half a teaspoon in here now. Crushing it between my hands to expel the oils. Here's the other half a teaspoon. And I think I'm going to add 1 more half. If I get too much, well, oh well. Probably get eaten anyway. There you go. Teaspoon and a half of rosemary. If you want to add another type of herb, you can. But you don't have to add anything. Alright, I've got my dough hook on here, and I'm going to turn it on. After I plug in my mixer, this isn't a hand crank mixer. You know, you gotta have electricity these days. Alright, now you are not going to believe how easy this is. This is 4 cups of all-purpose flour, and it has not been sifted, but you do measure accurately. Well, wait a minute. I'm going to turn that up just a hair. Alright, I'm going to shut it off. Now this is the way I saw it done, so this is what I'm doing. All 4 of these cups of flour, unsifted all-purpose flour, are going in here at the same time. Make sure I get it all because I measured exact. And I don't want to leave any of the flour out. Alright. Put this back down in here. Lock it. And here we go. Now, we're going to let this mix with this dough hook until it looks like dough. I don't know how long that takes, but I will time it and give you a rough idea. And then I'll bring you back when it looks like it should. Alright, I want to say that I let this go about 7 minutes. And see, it's elastic and it's dough. It pulled away from the sides of the bowl and it's dough. So we're done with this. I'm gonna move this back. And the next thing you do is spray a container. And this is just a plastic container that I have. I sprayed it with butter. And you just put your dough in there. I'm going to kind of flip it around a little bit. Cover it up. And let it just rest. 2 hours. Alright, our 2 hours are up. And this has doubled in size. Ooh, it looks so good. Now, all you do, preheat your oven, excuse me, 30 minutes before it's time to put this bread in. Preheat it to 450 degrees. Let me put a little flour on my hands here. I'm going to take this out. The directions did not say to flour this, or, I mean, he put it right on a baking sheet, but my baking sheet is so old, I just did not want you all to see it. I'm too embarrassed. Alright, here's my bread. Deflated a bit, but that's okay. I'm going to slash the top a little bit, and I will tell you, if you want to, you can sprinkle cracked oats on the top, or oatmeal, and give it, you know, a little bit of texture. But I didn't do either of those. Get a sharp knife, and I'm just going to give it a few slashes here. Not very deep. There we go. I'm going to put it in this 450 degree oven. I'm going to keep an eye on it. But it should take about 20 minutes. Then we'll be back. Well, here we are. Our bread is done. It took mine exactly 20 minutes. And I let it cool for about a half an hour before I cut it. I thought I'd just go ahead and cut it, but it's nice and crispy. I cut a few slices, put some butter on it so it would melt. And I'm going to take a bite. I can taste that rosemary, but the bread has an excellent, excellent flavor to it. Just wonderful. There you go, guys. Homemade bread in 2 hours. I could have made the loaf longer. You know, more like a French bread or Italian bread. I just left it like it was when it came out of the container I let it rise in. But you put any seasonings in it you want. It's a delicious bread. I hope you try it and enjoy it. Thank you so much for coming in today and spending a little bit of time with me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, you all take care.